All the staff have to be very versatile on what they can work on. From walking sticks, scooters, power chairs, right through to walking frames. Anything you can imagine. We strip them right down to bare metal if we have to, so they know it's a safe piece of equipment. So there's really the whole spectrum of engineering skills we can teach. Anything that can help anyone that can go in that showroom, we must work on as a team.
This one to get ready to go into the showroom, give it a good polish and good clean.
Most of the stuff in our showroom was landfill, it was junk.
To date, we've recycled about 7,000 pieces of mobility equipment destined for landfill.
Everything you see in here, you think it was brand new. It's not brand new, it was refurbished.
It's got to go into the showroom as if it came out of the factory.
Because we can't have anything going out to a customer that isn't 100%.
So we need to know that they're safe, but they're happy and they're confident on the equipment. Because if they don't have confidence, they're not going to use it, and it defeats why we come to work every day, to get as many people as we can mobile in the UK.
Thanks very much. Yeah, no problem. See you now. Okay. See you. Bye.
In England, there's thousands of people trapped in their homes who want to get out, but they've got no mobility equipment. A wheelchair can be anything from £300 to thousands and thousands of pounds. For some, it's fine, but it's for others, it's very expensive, so there is a definite need. My name's Peter Cousins. I'm the chairman of Brighter Future Workshop. We exist for one reason, that is to help people with disabilities regain their mobility. There's 330,000 pieces of electric mobility equipment on the roads now. Most of the used mobility equipment is being thrown away, but 80% of them can be recycled. So we intercept any mobility equipment going through landfill, and we get them to bring them here. It comes in and gets sanitised, and then it's stripped down to its base components, and they build it back up again, and we sell it at a reasonable cost.
This is the bigger model. My name's Pete Cousins, Big Peter's son. I'm a workshop manager. My job entails dealing with the general public, organising all the trainees we've got, all the students, make sure they've got work. In workshop, basically, we've got 4 full-time technician stations. Each one's got a specific skill. The electronics, for example, we've got a mechanical engineer here, we've got a wheelchair guy. We've got 2 guys now who are out on the road picking up repair work, donations of equipment, and we don't know what's coming in tomorrow. So we may use 2 or 3 different scooters to refurbish one complete scooter.
Yeah, so this one's sold. So basically what we have to do is we give it a PDI, a pre-delivery inspection, once over clean, new batteries fitted, and then it goes out to the customer.
People who can't afford new are able to access our equipment through either our online shop or to come and buy it from the showroom, and it gives them back their mobility. I'm Jackie Tittle, co-founder and general manager of Brighter Future Workshop.
I want to go and speak to a couple of our guys. I think the first guy we're going to meet is Paul. Paul was the inspiration. This is Paul, this is the guy it's all about. Right, buddy? Yeah. So what are you doing?
Sharper.
This one, he told me, he's being scrapped.
When you meet Paul and you look at Paul, you wouldn't think he was capable. And most people find it hard to believe what we say when we tell them. That's how this workshop was actually built up.
In our workshop, we recycle mobility equipment, but we also recycle young disabled people who've been thrown on life scrap heap.
Excited for work?
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Come on, mate, let's have a look.
Yeah.
My name's Danny Miller. I adopted Ben when he was 8 years old. Big smile.
My daddy boy.
He doesn't call me Dad, he calls me Danny Boy. I don't know why he calls me that, other than he sings the song, although he has very poor speech.
What's up?
Yeah.
My daddy.
2.5 years ago, my wife said to me, look, we need to be looking for something more permanent for Ben, where he's able to be himself, where he learns something. My responsibility after my wife died was to sort of find somewhere that he could find the normal life.
Good luck, young man. How are you today?
Good.
And I met Peter Cousins, who's responsible for this wonderful undertaking, and he was aware of what Ben's needs are. And from there, we began what I suppose you might call the first stage of the rest of his life.
I'm Tony Bodell, Christopher's father. When he was born, specialists turned around and said, the best advice I can give you is just hold his hand in life. To his legs, one day they will give up. They reckon when he gets to the age of 30, that'll be it. If he wasn't working there, brighter future, I think he'd just be sitting in this house. There's just no work for disabled people around here.
Paul, he's cerebral palsy and he's seriously disabled. He's deaf, he has a problem with speech, but that doesn't mean to say he can't do jobs. Paul can do everything on this guy.
He knows these scooters like the back of his hand now.
Paul is in charge, training him. You say disabled people can't do that, but I'm here to say that they can do it. Our motto is, I can, I will.
Keep going, keep going. A little bit more. Good job.
Youngsters with both learning disabilities and physical disabilities, they come here to feel they have a sense of purpose and belonging by helping other people with disabilities.
Just imagine a young guy or girl coming here who's got no confidence, no self-worth, no social interaction, no life skills. They'll probably never have mainstream jobs. They can leave here knowing that they can cope in society and feel good about themselves.
Make sure this is clean. Put grease on here. That nut.
Yeah?
Yeah. Put the wheel back on. Tighten it. And then spin it.
We've got 18, 19 students, and we have to teach these guys a task to a competent level.
Got it.
It can be anything from sanding a piece of metal, it can be making something out of metal, it can be servicing a back axle, and they in turn have to be able to do that task 3 times, totally unaided by a member of staff. Now, if you consider, to you and I, that might be quite a simple task, but if you're asking someone who's in a wheelchair to use a saw very safely to cut a piece of metal, they've gone and done a task that's really, really difficult. But then we've given them tasks, and you'll turn around in 20 minutes and that task's been done, and it just totally blows you away. And I've got these 3 guys who are training to be technicians, and I've got students teaching them because of their abilities and what they can do.
How'd that happen? Being busy, so hard.
And every 2 to 3 months we try and do an award ceremony, and that is where they get presented 2, 3, 4, 5 certificates. And that piece of paper states they can handcraft something out of metal, they can repair this, they can fix something. And hopefully those certificates will show to other family members who may not be involved in that person's life that actually, hang on a minute, they're not just going to sit in a wheelchair all day. They can come here, they can excel, as long as they think about it and they're confident enough.
What are we doing to it, Mark?
The tightening.
Tightening that up, yeah?
All our youngsters have buddies that works alongside them, helping them achieve.
We've also got 2 key members who are mentors, and they work with the harder students who require more one-to-one time.
We need to tighten them too up. My name's Karen. I'm a student mentor and I assist disabled students on their daily tasks just to see if they've learned something and they can do it. That's really rewarding to me. I love the job for that aspect, really.
They could quite happily spend 8 hours doing a job I can do in 5 minutes, but that doesn't matter. Those guys have got the patience to work with those students, so they go home happy.
If you only took 1 bolt off in a day, that's fine. Every day we challenge our trainees to do a little bit better, and we know when they're getting better because we see them start to smile. This is all my trees. Imagine going to a mountain, you see a tree coming out. So that represents like the side of a cliff in that pot. When I first got it, it was a little Scots pine about that high. And I've been working on it now for 15 years. Beautiful, beautiful. This is where I come to find my peace. I come in the afternoon, the sun's in my face, and I can just sit here and I forget everything. My legs, I've had a problem since I was very young. I kept falling over and I couldn't get up again. And my sisters used to say, get off the floor and walk. 10 minutes later, I'd be fine. And I think back over the years, I didn't let it bother me. I thought I was a fit man and I could do all this exercise. And I wanted to play rugby, so I did. I wanted to run marathons, and I did. I wanted to carry on for as long as I possibly could. When I was about 50, over a matter of a couple of weeks, my legs deteriorated completely. And I didn't like the idea one bit, you know. I said, I'm going to be stuck here for the rest of my life. I had to retire from work, which was a great blow. And for 17 months, I sat at home as an angry man. I saw a different side of me that I didn't know existed. I was lost. Imagine not going out for 17 months, looking through the window and everyone's walking past your window. I couldn't afford a wheelchair. The price of mobility equipment is extortionate. After a while, you get as if you don't want to do anything. I mean, I was a wreck, a real wreck. One day going to bed as an angry man and waking up the next morning with a determination that I'd never had before. This is it, I've got to do something. I've got to do something. I can't feel sorry for myself any longer. You've had enough of being down and you've got to start clawing your way back up. Sometimes it's a long process to crawl back, but every day you just go a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. You know, you end up with a feeling that then drives you forward. I felt good about myself because I'd made up my mind to do something. I realised I needed to help other disabled people who can't help themselves. I got the idea to set up a place where people could borrow mobility equipment. There's thousands of people trapped in their homes who want to get out, but they've got no mobility equipment. I first started the mobility shop in Ormskirk. Ormskirk's a nice little market town. It's got a 700-year-old market. The church has been there since 300 or 400. That's when Jackie came along. Well done.
I met Peter back in 2001. This office is where Peter and I used to sit. There's a desk here. We used to rent out equipment to people with disabilities. We worked with volunteers and they used to help to give the equipment out each day, but we had nowhere to have it repaired or serviced. Paul was one of our volunteers. And how old were you then?
28.
No, not then. You were only 20, 21.
Oh yes, we were younger.
Paul is physically disabled and is difficult to understand, but he had a heart of gold. And it was difficult to keep him occupied here. We didn't know anybody to fix the equipment, did we?
Yeah.
So you wanted to fix those scooters?
Yeah, I'm looking there. I'm going to fix these scooters.
If you can imagine, all these scooters are lined up.
All the scooters, we fix, all clean, and in service.
He's going to get on the floor and show you. Are you all right, son?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
And we seen Paul lying down on the floor and I shouted, get an ambulance. He's hurt himself. He's hurt himself.
And then Paul turned his head round and he had the biggest smile on his face, the biggest smile you've ever seen. And in his hand he had a screwdriver and he was trying to repair a puncture.
He said 1,000 words when he looked at us, said 1,000 words in his face. It told me that he wants to move on in life, but he doesn't know how to.
And that's when Peter had his eureka moment. What if we could set up a workshop where the likes of Paul could come and help to repair equipment? And that's how it all began. In 2003, Brighter Future was born.
That smile changed my life. That smile says, I can do it. That smile's caused a massive wave of good. And it's just grown and grown and grown and grown.
That's what we call I can, I will, and we do, don't we? Hey? This is what you've got to home in on, bright smiley song.
Big yellow sun, smiling, and that's designed from that moment of Paul turning around and showing this 1,000-word look.
It's been a long, long trek. We came up against a lot of negativity.
People would say you can't get disabled people to do, jobs. You can't. It doesn't happen. Just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you're disabled. Just because you've got cerebral palsy, you don't have to be disabled. You can use your brain, and that's what counts.
Nobody thought we could do it, did they, Paul? Hey? But we knew we could, didn't we?
Yeah. Hey? And we did, didn't we? Yeah. We did it. We done it. We done it. We worked as a team, didn't we?
Yeah, we're a team. Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think I was going to run you over? Charlie, will you come and open the gate, will
Yes, I will.
Are we going?
Okay, wait a minute. We ought to do some kind of trick. You tried to do a wheelie?
No way, it's too heavy. I've tried.
See how fast it accelerates.
Oh, yeah. I don't normally go this fast. I am Doreen Martin. I am 77-year-old. This scooter is 3-year-old. Gets me from A to B. Wouldn't be able to go out unless I had this. Brighter Future are great.
Why?
Because they look after me. Oh, it's not wide enough. I mean, I broke down on the concourse. They came out and took this to the shop, fixed it, and brought it back to me. I've only got to phone them up, and they're there, I hope.
We've helped so many people buying scooters, wheelchairs, power chairs.
We've had certain people come in the showroom. One of them was a 3-4-year-old girl, and she'd never stood up before. And we were able to supply her with an electrical power chair that stood her up. Her mum had never seen her standing before. And I think he smiled for about a month after that one, because we had provided something that helped someone that couldn't afford it otherwise.
Well, I'm just trying it out to see if it'll come to pieces so I can put it in the boot of my car so I can get out and about.
Are you ready for this? Because it is very easy. OK. So take the seat off, you pick it, you swing the battery out, you hold that lever.
Great.
How does the chair feel?
Absolutely superb. From the minute I stepped in, I felt they understood. The service was absolutely fantastic. We've bought 2 wheelchairs from somewhere else, and they both were awful. But coming here, they knew what we wanted, and she tried endless wheelchairs to make sure I was happy with what I got.
We're very happy with the service we've had here. It's been a great service to us.
If we can help that customer, it's a good all the way round. We help the customer, we help the students, everyone's happy.
When you're buying your car, you get a floor mat decorated normally with the car type on it. Our trainees have done the same thing here. This was made by Ben. Our disabled trainees feel very, very proud that they are recycling equipment to give to other people. And they want to put this on, saying it's as good as new. As you go around, you see many, many different types. It makes them proud, and that makes me proud. And then we all have a smile together.
Are you having fun today, Ben? Me?
Yeah. It was the right place for him to be, and it was the right time for him to be here. He learns something. He's able to be himself. He's able to explore his own mind, his own vision. I wouldn't have him anywhere else. He's so happy there.
I'm Christine. This is Mark, my son. Mark came here about 3 years ago and he loves it. He has a good laugh when he's here. He seems to be more chatty when he's at home. It's done him good.
He loves it here, doesn't he?
He does. He doesn't want to go home half the time. He's got a bit more initiative coming out in him, you know.
He's much better that way. He's much inclined to help around the house.
I think it's a brilliant place for Christopher.
Pretty right, dude.
It doesn't seem like a job to him because he's always happy to go there in the morning and he seems to want to stay there all night.
I just think it's great what Jackie and Peter are doing to encourage people like Christopher. It has given him a boost of confidence, given him a meaning to life and independence as well.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Brighter Future isn't just business, it's a way of life.
It's not like an ordinary working place. It's a lot more relaxed and chill.
Oh, we have a great time with them. We have a laugh and joke. It's like family. We get to know every one of them.
There you go, mate. Thank you very much.
We teach our kids life skills. We teach them how to speak to people, how to communicate, how to be part of a group.
We've got students who come here very quiet, very isolated. They like to be on their own. They're not used to being socialised. And now they're full parts of the team. And we've had students turn out to be real success stories.
The youngsters are knocking on the door. They want to come and be at Brighter Future. And our aim is that in 20 years' time, Brighter Future is still here to help all those youngsters just waiting to come through the door.
We've created something special, haven't we? How many disabled people have we helped? Tens of thousands.
It's like nothing anybody could ever envisage would happen.
And I think it'll just go bigger and bigger every year, it gets stronger.
At the end of the day, we go home and think, yes, another day, I can, I will, and we've done it yet again.
If you could come to the workshop, you'd feel an air of passion and determination, and I'm going to do this. I want people to walk away and say, wow, wow, look at that place. That's the beauty of Brighter Future. One little instance, like Paul being on the floor, has changed their lives and helped thousands and thousands of people. If you're happy, I'm happy. Look at this smile, look. It's worth $1 million. Our aim is to get 1 million smiles, and I think we're well past that by now.